have conversations, it's time to talk about rules and expectations. So, what are the expectations that you have about household rules or how you will do life together? I remember when Christy and I first got married, I got home from work. I have two modes. I learned this. I have relationship mode and I have work mode. And it's very hard for me to just turn off one mode and go to the other. And I would get home from work and Christy would be expecting to just chat about the day. She wanted to unload everything on me as soon as I got home from work. And I couldn't do it. Like I was just so overwhelmed by all of the chit chatter that I needed to simply have time to decompress. And so one of the patterns we set early on in our marriage, and I would really highly encourage you to consider the healthy patterns you want to establish early on in your marriage, because the more you talk about these and the healthier the patterns are that you set early on, you carry those patterns forward as you move on in your relationship. And so we set this pattern that we would go to the gym and we would work out together as soon as the end of the workday was there. Now, we didn't work out together. She did her workout, I did my workout, but we went together. We went to the gym together. This was pre-kids. We went to the gym, pre-kids for sure, but we went to the gym together. We worked out. I was able to put my headphones in, and it gave me 30 to 40 minutes just to decompress my day, my work day, so that I could enter relationship mode and we could go home and have dinner. And we did that for a solid year and a half before we ended up having our first child. And it was very, very important to us. It was a pattern that helped establish how I communicate with her and how I move from relationship or work mode to relationship mode. And it's an expectation that we now have. So when Christy comes in and she tries to talk to me into my office, or because we now work together, if she's trying to talk to me about something, she knows that I'll probably be a little bit more short. I might not be as relational. I might not be as warm initially because I'm in do mode. And she doesn't get offended by that because she understands that there's work and relationship mode that I tend to have a hard time transitioning to. And if if I come across as a jerk or that type of thing, that's one thing. But if it's just work mode and relationship mode, there's an expectation there. But we had to talk about the expectation. And there's going to be expectations that come up throughout time. Things are going to change, right? What you need in the relationship is going to change. Listen, your attractions change over time. This is one of the mind-boggling things about marriage is, or just about life, is our attractions change over time. So in other words, what we're attracted to today might not be what we're attracted to tomorrow. You might love the new Ford Bronco, but in a few years down the road, you're like, oh man, my attractions changed. Now I love the Jeep and I love this new Jeep and the Bronco's not something I'm attracted to anymore. Colors that we're attracted to, cars that we're attracted to, design, maybe interior design that we're not attracted to. It's those types of things. Our attractions change over time. What should never change though in the marital relationship is your commitment to one another. But what is going to look different over time is attraction to the things that keep you excited and passionate. So in other words, working out is a big one for me. I need to be working out. Christy needs to be working out. But how we do that looks different. The patterns that we set are different. I'm now working out at 5:30 in the morning. Christy's working out in the afternoon, right? Our attractions to music, our attractions to movies, our attractions to what we do together, our date nights, and how often we do date nights. Those change over time. And so I remember a season where we were so excited about going to movies together. And then we would go to movies and after a while we got tired of seeing movies because we felt like we were going out a lot but not talking to one another. And so we started changing and the things that we were attracted to was new restaurants. We always wanted to find a new restaurant. And so we got attracted to trying new foods and new restaurants in our area that we live. And we cultivated our relationship around those new experiences. And here's the other thing. As it comes to expectations, I remember Christy would want to drive through neighborhoods and she'd want to drive through these opulent neighborhoods with these huge homes, and I didn't want to do it. She loved it. And I didn't want to do it because what it did for me was it showed me, or it told me that she wanted these houses. She wanted to live in these houses, but I couldn't afford them. So for me, I'm like, I don't even want to go. I don't want to dream with you. I don't want to look at these houses. It was like, why can't you just be content with what we have, right? And so I would always shut her down. No, I don't want to go do that. No, I don't want to go do that. Until one day we talked about the expectation. We talked about her attraction to those homes, her attraction to that area brought her alive. It's not that she wanted to have those. It's that she loved dreaming. She loved looking at parts of those houses and dreaming about how she could implement parts of those houses into our home, parts of nature. She's attracted to nature. How I can help her in that attraction to nature by taking her hiking and doing certain activities outside. We look at our spouse's attractions and how can we support them. So for me, I was the one it was the fear and the insecurity that I don't have the money that these houses are, but it was an expectation of her that she wanted to dream. And I had to give into that. And I had to say, listen, not give into it, but I had to pursue it. I had to champion it and say, I want to dream alongside you. I do. I want to step into that. And ever since then, I don't care anymore. I just go with her and we dream together. And man, it has brought her alive. It turns her on. It's so exciting in our marriage because it brings us intimately more connected. But until you talk about the expectations and the attractions that you have, you won't understand or know how you can pursue your spouse's heart. So talk about those expectations. Talk about the expectations around the house. Who's going to clean? Who's going to cook? Who's going to take care of taking out the garbage? Who, when you have children, is going to wake up with the children through the night? Who is going to, help with school homework? Who's going to maybe homeschooling if you're doing homeschooling? Who's going to manage these activities around the house? What are the expectations you have of one another? We have now learned to share, meal planning and cooking and doing that together, because for a while it was Christy's. She was doing it. She was taking the brunt of it, but it's not her natural she doesn't naturally enjoy it. It's not her natural bend. So she needed my help so she wasn't getting exhausted all the time. That's the power of talking about expectations. So you're not putting your expectations on your spouse because man, I'm telling you, you carry that in and you don't talk about it and you don't bring it to light, you will fight with each other and not for one another. So I encourage you, take out your pen, take out your paper, write down expectations, individually, separate, write down expectations you have heading into marriage, and then come together and talk about those lists.